Hello everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Kenny and I just hit 70 subscribers. I've been doing YouTube consistently for about 3 months now, and I remember when I hit 16 subscribers and that felt huge, and then I hit 34 subscribers and that felt even bigger, and then I hit 50 subscribers and I was like, whoa. And I just hit 70 subscribers, and I know it might not seem like a lot, but if you think of a classroom with 70 people in it, that's kind of crazy. That's a lot of people, so thank you so much. I wanted to make this video for anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel or start making content, but they're just too afraid to, or don't know where to start, or have a lot of fear and anxiety around it. And I know exactly how you feel, because that was me. I didn't have a niche and I didn't really have much of a plan. I just wanted to start this as a social experiment for myself. I have a lot of social anxiety, and so I wanted to do something to combat that. And I thought, what better way than to post videos of myself online for a bunch of random people who don't know me. And I'm really glad I did that, because I feel like it has helped with my social anxiety and it lessens that fear. And it's like, oh, I don't really have anything to be afraid of. Like, it's all in my head. So I want to share how I started, what I've learned, and honestly, you got this, because starting is the hardest part. So when I started YouTube, I didn't really have a plan. I just started this as a social experiment for myself, more of like a personal challenge. And I wanted to do something completely out of my comfort zone. Anxiety has been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. And I've always been like kind of creative, I guess. And I do feel like I always had things I wanted to say and like share with people, but I was always too afraid, always too scared. And it's like the fear of being judged, the fear of messing up, the fear of saying the wrong thing. And eventually I just kind of hit a point where I was like, if I keep letting fear win, there's bugs everywhere, gross. What was I saying? If I let fear win, I'm never gonna do anything. So I was like, all right, it's okay to be scared and just still do it anyway. There's actually a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, and it's one of my favorite books. I would really recommend to anyone to read that. So that's when I posted my first video, and I will insert a clip of that video. It has been really hard for me to get out of my comfort zone. I'm trying to push myself to do things that I normally wouldn't do. And so I'm gonna do it, because the only thing holding me back is my brain. Like, it's not that scary. Just in my head, it seems a lot more scary than it is. That holds me back. It is literally, the audio is trash, the video is trash, I'm just rambling, it's not very good. It got like 40 views, but I did it. I posted something. It wasn't good, but it was real. I talked about why I wanted to start, I was vulnerable, and that's what matters the most. One of the things I've learned the most so far is that being vulnerable and genuine is so important, because there are like real people behind the screen, and there's real people watching you, and there's real people who can relate to you. I just made a video about procrastination, and that's a problem for future me. I'll link it somewhere. And that is where I got my first comment of someone saying that they found my video very relatable. I'll insert it right here. That meant so much to me. Just knowing that by being vulnerable and sharing something I had gone through, I had made someone else feel seen and heard. And for me, that's all I could have wanted. So what turned into a social experiment has kind of turned into seeking community and helping other people and wanting others to become the best versions of themselves, while we do some occasional crafting as well. We live in times where there's so much content, just 24/7. There's a lot of people trying to go viral, doing challenges, copying trends, chasing algorithms, and that's totally valid. If that's your thing, you do you, baby. But if you're someone who just wants to connect, who has a message to share, who wants to find community, share your interests, thoughts, your story, your humanity, you just being you, that's powerful. And honestly, it might be exactly what someone needs to hear. There are people who come to watch videos looking for depth, relatability, comfort, and I think especially now when so much of the internet is filled with AI, people are seeking that human connection again. Not everyone everyone wants flashy edits or viral stunts. Some people just want to see a real person being honest. And if you can do that, even if it's not perfect, you being your authentic self, you're already offering something valuable because there's no one else like you. That sounds super cheesy, but it's true. Only you have lived through your experiences. Only you have lived your life. Only you have learned the lessons you have learned to become the person you are today. You have a specific story, message, anything to share. So if you've been wanting to, do it. I also wanted to talk about why I specifically chose to start on YouTube. If I'm being honest, it kind of felt like the least judgmental platform. I know it sounds kind of weird, but TikTok and Instagram can kind of feel intense or very curated. Everything's super fast. It can kind of feel superficial at times, and I feel like there's a lot more pressure on there. It feels like people are just reacting and not really connecting, but I feel like sometimes with YouTube, it offers a lot more community. I feel like people actually watch and listen. I've seen very thoughtful comments on YouTube videos where I've seen more of like initial reactions on TikTok comments or Instagram comments rather than insightful, which is fine.
Totally fine by me.
And even though YouTube takes a little bit more effort with longer videos, editing, thumbnails, I feel like the payoff is deeper, again, because there's such a strong sense of community. Okay, now I want to talk what's happened in these 3 months that I've been on here. So at first, I only started posting on YouTube Shorts, which if you are nervous about posting anything, I would really recommend YouTube Shorts at first. Not a lot of people see them, which that is why I chose YouTube Shorts. It felt a lot less intimidating than a long video. So that was me testing the waters, dipping my toes in. Ew, sorry. It was just me trying to get used to hearing my voice on camera, editing, trying to figure out what I wanted to say, my style. And then eventually I got braver and I filmed a long video. Well, first I started talking about why I wanted to do this, my goals for this, and just speaking my experience, honestly. And through this whole thing, one of the biggest things I would recommend is do not focus on the numbers. Your first videos are gonna be trash. These are still not good. For me, I'm just trying to be consistent. I'm still learning how to edit. I'm still learning how to be fully comfortable in front of a camera. Still trying to experiment with different niches and topics and see what I like and what resonates with people. I just saw a YouTube video where this guy talks about the CEO of YouTube and how he says the best way to succeed on YouTube. I'll link it down below. But what he was saying is be genuine and be vulnerable and be honest, because people on the other side of the screen can tell. They can tell what's a performance, and they can tell when someone's being honest and vulnerable and themselves. And I think that's where authenticity wins. And I think that's why if you have a message to share or want to share or are seeking for community, there's other people looking for that as well. So here are my main tips for starting if you're scared. Post a bad first video. Just get it over with. You can make it. It doesn't matter if it's cringe or if it's bad. Just click publish. It's sort of like a rite of passage, if anything. If you're very afraid of long form content, use shorts to get comfortable with posting and with editing and seeing your style. They're low pressure and just great practice, honestly. Don't wait to find your niche. Let your niche find you. Just start posting what feels good. Start posting anything, and you can kind of see what people resonate with, what you resonate with. I wanted to start doing crafting videos, which I've done a few, but I thought that was gonna be like my whole thing, and it's been like 2 videos so far. I didn't really intend my channel to be like self-helpy, let's grow together type vibe, but I actually really enjoy talking about it, and a lot of people have resonated with this, so here we go. All right, let's do it. Another tip is to start before you feel confident. What I learned the hard way is that confidence doesn't really show up until after you've started. You're just gonna have to do it scared a little bit. You got this. And I think the most important thing is to remember your why. You don't need to impress strangers. You're doing this for you. Whatever your why is, just hold on to it and always remember why you're doing it. If you're seeking, like, let's be real, you can get monetized on here and people make a lot of money doing that. And if you're seeking that, I think that's great. But at the same time, if that's the only reason you're doing this, it takes a lot of effort, and I did not realize how much work it is to film, to edit. I have such a deep appreciation for big creators now and all of their editing, because editing a 20-minute video turns into 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I think if money is your sole factor into starting this and you're not actually passionate about it, I think you really need to reconsider. I'm just kidding, but it does take a lot of effort, and I feel like you really need to love doing this to be consistent with it. I actually like doing this a lot more than I thought I would. I thought I'd get intimidated by talking or making a script, but I've really enjoyed learning how to edit videos and making them, and it's been like a fun creative outlet for me. So I'm actually really enjoying this. Also, you do not need a fancy camera or a microphone or any pizzazz to start. Literally, our phone cameras are so good, and that's all you need at this point. So whether one person watches or 1,000, it's worth it because you showed up, and that's what matters most. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped at least one person. I hope this helped you feel a little bit braver, and hopefully this helped at least push one person into wanting to start and kind of lightened the load a little bit. If you are watching this and have been wanting to start a YouTube channel, I hope you do it. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next one. Bye!